A very warm good morning to everyone, and thank you for taking out your time on a Sunday for a speaker session. And let me tell you today that it is going to be very interesting and super productive day for you. So let me go ahead and firstly introduce myself. Hello, hi everyone. This is Tamsha Mohanty. For us, for today's speaker session, we have Yastika Batra, who is a product manager at iMumz, which is a which is a which is a company into health tech. And iMumz also appeared on Shark Tank recently. If you watch that episode, do let me know in the chat section. And Yashtika has always had a panache for using her creativity, analytical skills, and problem solving abilities to make a real impact on people's lives. She enjoys working with cross functional teams to deliver innovative solutions that solve user problems and is passionate about qualitative and quantitative research methodology. And let me tell you one thing, that she is from a non-tech background in architecture, and she discovered her true calling in product management. So a lot of you guys would relate to her a lot because she transitioned from a non-tech background to architect to product management, completely changed the field altogether. So welcome, a very warm welcome to you, Yashtika.
Hey Tamsha, hey everyone, how are you? How are you all doing? Can I see some beautiful faces? Uh, because I know it's a Sunday morning and everyone must be feeling Sundayish. So if it would be really good if you all can turn on your cameras because I want to keep this session very interactive.
Yes, because they cannot. This is a webinar session, so they
Oh, okay,
won't be
got it.
able to
It's
switch off
okay,
their
it's okay.
cameras.
Got it. So let me quickly, am I audible properly? Am I visible?
Yes, you are audible, you're visible.
Yes. Okay, let me just share my screen and start presenting what I have today for all of you. Quick check on whether my screen is visible. Please put it in chat box so that I can see. Yes,
Yes, it is
thank you so much
visible.
for confirming. Yeah. Yes, let me start by first uh, thanking you all for just being here and giving me this wonderful opportunity to talk to all of you to discuss my experience regarding product management, regarding transition from architecture to product management, and a lot of lovely things that I'll be sharing about onboarding. So let me quickly start by telling you about who I am. So this is a slide where I have tried to put down a few key elements that really reflect my personality. On the left side, you can see a dollop of ghee. It suggests that I belong to a Punjabi family. I graduated as an architect after learning design. Now I work as a product manager at a pregnancy and parenting health tech startup, iMumz. iMumz helps pregnant mothers and new mothers navigate through the often overwhelming phase of pregnancy and parenting. And during my free time, I really like playing ukulele and also do yoga. I was a gymnast back when during my school days. So that's all about me. I'll quickly start the session and tell you a bit about it. So in today's session, we are going to put users first by navigating, onboarding, and building better products. So this is the title, and this is what we are going to talk about today. I'll quickly share the agenda on what all things we are going to learn. And the first thing here that I've written is that we would want to learn about what is user onboarding, why it can make or break a product, how do we make it work, and so on and so forth. So before
Yastika,
we
just
before we jump into the session,
can
hello.
you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you. If you could just close the pop-up that is right out there on the screen.
Let me see. Let me see. Let me share my screen again.
Yastika, you're on mute.
Now, am I audible now?
Yes, yes, you are.
Yes. Yeah, great. So before we start, I have a very quick question to all of you. Every company or a brand, they want to achieve just one thing that every company wants to achieve. I'll give you a hint. The answer lies in a single word. Can you all guess what it is? And it starts with G. It starts with G. Yeah, you are close. Sargam. Oh, yes, Gaurav is right. Karthik is right. And all of you are right. Great, great, great. Great set of audience here. And I'll tell you that you all are right. Uh, growth. Growth is what every company wants to achieve. Growth can be defined by different metrics. As a lot of you also mentioned, revenue, profits, uh, right? So, revenue, market share, user acquisition, retention numbers, etc. Even in your career, right? Like in your career, also, you would want to grow your money, grow your learnings, the way you think, your designations, your roles, your values, etc., etc. And the list goes on and on. So everyone wants to grow. That's what motivates you to keep going as your needs keep changing with time. So growth is something that we would want to. I think my screen is stuck, right? Is it visible?
It is visible. Yeah, it is moving.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, yeah. Yes. So now the question comes is, how do we achieve growth? How do we get there? So to achieve growth, you need to build good products. And to build good products, you need to build a great first impression. I can't emphasize more on how important building great first impressions is. But let me ask you one thing, like, why is the first impression of an app, like, what is the first impression of an app on a user? Let's take an example. Take a very interesting example. I think a lot of you have seen Duolingo. Duolingo is like a language learning platform. So when I say first impression or onboarding, this is what I mean. For example, if you download Duolingo, the first thing that you see in is the copy that says learn a language for free forever. It tells you in an instant about what this app does and what this app is all about and how this app can help you learn a lot of languages and that too for free. And it's such a powerful copy. In such short words, they have just explained who they are, and they just want you to get started with it. Then it asks you a few questions that help them design a good experience for you. For example, they have asked you, like, pick a goal, how regularly you want to discuss, how regularly you want to learn. And they also have like a bird, I guess, that tells you that kind of guides you throughout the onboarding process. Then they ask you, like, what language do you want to learn. And it's super interesting to see such kind of an experience, because it's so quick. So the copy is so interesting. Everything is leading you to the core action of the app. Now, but why do we need to build a first great impression? I'll just tell you why this is so important. It doesn't matter at all how good your product is, how strong your product is. If your first impression of the product, that is the onboarding, if it is not great, then the users will drop off and they will never get to experience how good the product is. They will not even come back. They will just drop off, because the first impression that you or your like the app has not been too great. So it has to be great, because it's very important for you to give that first good experience. I think I just want to ensure that whatever I'm saying makes sense. Could you please let me know if like, am I going too fast or slow? I will cop up with that. Yeah, thank you so much. So let me start by telling you the first lesson. The first lesson here is, or first learning here is, that first impression matters. And why it matters so much is because the attention span in digital products, it's very small. You have seen Instagram, how quickly people scroll from one reel to another in within seconds. So it's very important to have that first impression like strong, and then quickly you take users to the actual product. So the question comes is, how do you design the best onboarding for your product? Or let's say if you go to an interview, I know that a lot of you are aspiring product managers. So how do you design, if let's say interview asks you, like, improve something, improve some onboarding process, it happens a lot. So how do you design the best onboarding product for any product? Yeah. So I'll share a step framework that I follow. So at iMumz, I have experienced, like, in the past 2 years, what I experienced with, I have like done a lot of experiments on onboarding, and it has really worked wonders for me and my team. So I have created this acronym for the same, so that it's easy for you to remember. Let us quickly understand what this framework is all about and how it can help you build the perfect onboarding experience for users. It's as simple as this. Uh, it's growth. So the growth here is the acronym that I've used. It's a step-by-step framework. I'll just quickly start by telling you the first step. Yeah. The first step here is goal setting. The first thing that one should do is set the goal that you would want to achieve from the onboarding. Because, different products, different apps have different objectives. So you need to define the goal that you want to achieve via onboarding, and then align it to the product's vision. So let me tell you, like, I know it's a very broad term, so I'll just give you some examples of the apps that you've already used, and let us see, like, how different their goal can be and how their onboarding process, maybe a lot of there's a lot of difference in that. So everyone knows Swiggy, right? So for Swiggy, the intent of onboarding is they want users to realize the core values, like, of Swiggy. When they like, for example, for Swiggy, the value is getting a user, making a user uh, order their first first meal, or their first order gets delivered. That's what Swiggy wants you to do, right? um, Users realize the value of calm. Mental health app, I think a lot of you have used it, or maybe have known about it. When they listen to the free content, so users realize the value of calm when they listen to the free content. That's what users, after which users will feel peaceful. That's the reason why they downloaded the app now. So similarly, a pregnant women realize the value of iMumz when they make a purchase and access our wide range of content library. They get answers to their questions once they access this library. The next step here is research. After you set goals, it's very, very important to research about users. Whether it's qualitative research, whether it's quantitative research, you would want to know who these users are, what they came for, and what they are looking for. Know your users inside and out. Since your users are the one you are building it for, so you are not going to use the app, your users are going to use the app. So you have to know who they are, why they came for, what they are looking for, and how this app that you're building can create a real impact in their life. So for us at iMumz, we focused a lot on user research and understood their pain points very deeply. Our users, as you already know, are pregnant moms. The reason why they came on the app was because they didn't have answers to many questions that they often have and they often face because their journey is so overwhelming. Questions like, how do I ensure my baby is healthy? What kind of food should I eat? They feel stressed about baby's good growth. They are working women. Most of them are working women, and it's just a very difficult phase, and they transition from one like the pregnancy is like kind of overwhelming, so they have a lot of stress. They want to take good care of their baby. So we defined who they are and they why they are here. So the next step is to form your opinions. So what I mean by forming your opinions is how you're going to solve the user's problems, and you have to have that opinion on how this app will help them solve the user problems that you have found, like you have found out through the research that you have done. So you should brainstorm with your team, uh, the whole team, with your designers, with your engineers, sit together and understand and brainstorm how you are going to solve the problems that you are facing, like the core problem that you are going to solve for, and find creative solutions for it. So one of the creative solutions that we found out was we had kind of multiple hypotheses, and around three of them worked very well for us. The first one was where we gave them personalized experience. We personalized their experience via onboarding. We told them that, you know what, each pregnancy is unique and it shapes your baby's health, happiness, IQ, and you have to give the best womb environment for your baby. So would you like to answer some questions? And then we used to ask them a series of questions. When I say personalized onboarding, what I mean is we giving a user a feeling that this app really cares about me because they want to know about me. They want to know more about me, and they would then we would want to personalize their experience, and they will feel so like content when you ask them such questions. And when they answer these questions, they will feel that yeah, later on, maybe later on in the journey, uh, this will really, like, they will really personalize my content, and it's the app that is designed just for me. So here we ask them questions that revolved around their lifestyle, telling them how this information is really helping us personalize your experience. For example, do you have a specific pregnancy condition? Is the first question that we asked, and then we told them why we asked that question. And then we ask them if they are a working woman, a homemaker, because each pregnancy is unique, and we wanted to know if they can spend some time or not, if they are busy or not. So these kind of questions, really, we had like 7 to 8 set of questions which were really focused on them. So post that, we kind of personalized their experience and showed them and recommended them the plan that we have for them. This was the first iteration that we did. Um, the next one is very interesting too. So there is this concept called jobs to be done. So think of it in such a way that any company, for example, let's say you download Urban Company, you download that app and you hire Urban Company to solve one of your problems. For example, I want to get my kitchen cleaned, so my job is to get my kitchen cleaned, and I hire Urban Company to solve that for me, to do that for me, to do that job for me. So the concept, the framework that is very famous, you can search about it on Google and do your own research on JTBD. It's called jobs to be done. It's very similar to what Duolingo does, right? We asked mums about their aspirations and their concerns, like why they are here, asking them what brings them here and how can we help them in their journeys. For example, the first thing that we asked was, what is your topmost pregnancy aspiration and concern? It can be, and these six uh, things that you see, like these six options that you see, were quite like they were. We did a lot of research on identifying these key aspirations and concerns. We talked to users. We also saw a lot of data on how mothers think, and we also have like a experienced team where we interact with them one on one, and from there we used to listen to the recordings there and that's when we kind of figured out that these are the things, these are the topmost concerns that all mothers face, and they can select either one of them or they can select all of them. For example, if my yeah, right, user interviews. So 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 here we ask them this question, and then they select any one of the question, and then we ask them another question like, what makes you feel stressed? So they can select that. And the third slide that you can see is, we give them an assurance. We tell them that, see, we can help you, we can help you get relief from stress. In getting relief from stress, we can help you manage your symptoms, we can help you have a natural pregnancy, natural delivery, and we can help you bond with your baby. So this is what we do. Like, it's just a single slide that just tells you that this app can really make a difference. And we also show some users who are actually with us and who have like transformed their pregnancy journey, and like we made that pregnancy journey easier for them. So then it's the time to ask or give a fact that is really appealing. For example, did you know that your stress can affect your baby's brain development? It's a place where they feel the wow. They are telling me that something that I didn't know earlier. And then when we tell them that this is how your stress can affect your baby, suppose that we give them some tips, some value, that you can reduce your tips by following these powerful tips. In between these slides also, we had a video where we explained them more about why how stress can affect your baby's personality, and what they can do to ensure that the they can reduce stress, and how they can often like do meditation, give them tips around it. And then we suggest them a personalized plan which can help them uh, overcome, like basically follow these lifestyle changes that we have advised. Yeah, so this is a very interesting one. This is also a very famous type of onboarding where we progressively tells a user something. Because if you tell everything in one go, it's very difficult to comprehend. If it's very difficult to understand, you progressively tell a user uh, small things. For example, I just say that, hi, Yastika, did you know that a positive womb environment can make your baby healthier, make your baby happier, make your baby intelligent? Whereas a poor womb environment can affect your baby's health, affect your baby's IQ, affect your baby's personality. And then here we add social proof of that iMumz can help you create positive womb environment. And we share all these user kind of images where we tell them where they can relate to it. So adding a social proof is very important. And then we progressively tell them that, see, we have a program, that we have a coach led program that can guide you throughout your pregnancy. So it's one by one. You step by step progressively tell a user about like how it can impact, what we can help you with, and this is a program that we have made for you, just for you. So it's called progressive onboarding. Yes, so I have a video, I guess, that I would want to show, but I think it needs permission. Just give me a second, I'll just check. Uh, anyway, I'll just skip this slide for now. It's a video onboarding where we kind of, I'm showing you a screen recording for the same. But let me tell you, there is a model called EDA model of where we explain benefits. For example, first I grab their attention. Then I show them something that's very interesting. And then we build desire on top of it, that once they find it interesting and they engage with the content, then showing them that this is what they need. And then we tell them to take an action. For example, we just give them an option: join this program now, or say unlock this activity now. It can be any call to action that has a reason, that they this is something that they need. And then it's such a strong, even I'll tell you, like with my personal experience, this small things like CTA, the what copy you write on that call to action also matters a lot. For example, if I say something like unlock now instead of saying unlock, it creates more urgency. So this is what this model is about. I wish I could have shown you this. I'll show it in the end maybe. Yes. Let's go to the next step of the framework that I shared. It's W, which is wireframing in prototype. Here, you need to design a solution based on the hypothesis which solves the core user problem. As we have seen in the previous slides, we had an hypothesis and then we solved the user problem, and then the problems that we identified. You should also show it to some of your users and validate it, that whatever you are building is fine. So getting user validation is also very important. Ask a lot of peers also, show them your process, show them that, see, this is what we have made, what do you think, and record their reactions, see how they are responding to that screen, and how they are, what they are seeing at first. Are they looking at the topmost thing on the screen, are they looking at the bottom button, anything. So record their reactions and see, validate your hypothesis, validate, show it to you some of users, and because it gives you validation that whatever you are building is fine. And before launching it to public, you know that, yeah, this is something that I can improve in this journey because I got this user feedback. So your job doesn't end when you launch something. It's never ending job. So your job doesn't end here. This is the most crucial part. As now, it is a time for you to analyze and see for yourself if your onboarding is really creating an impact or not. Go back to the original goal and that you wanted to achieve, and see if this, if the metrics that you have defined earlier has improved or not. In one of our experiments, our core objective was, our core goal was to increase the conversions. So when I launch an iteration, is it increasing conversion or not? See the data, talk to some users, and like test and iterate again and again. This is the time you execute, launch your onboarding and keep analyzing it. Now, as I told you, that you have to own your like experiments, and you have to keep iterating, reiterating until you reach your goal. The more you iterate, the more refined your process becomes, and the closer you are to your goal. So I'll tell you, if like in the next slide, I'll just simply tell you our goal at iMumz was to increase conversions, and it took us more than 12 weeks. 12 weeks of continuous experimentation, iteration, reiteration, and that's what created impact. That's what has increased the funnel like anything. So growth will never come in a single day. It will come step by step. You have to iterate, you have to see where you are lacking, where your funnel is breaking, and you have to go back to your core problem and see if that is solving a the real problem or not. Iterate, and reiterate until you achieve the goal. So it is indeed a lot of effort, but it becomes very eventful in the end. So you will see growth for yourself if you keep iterating, and if you know what you are building for, who you are building for, and what you are building, how it is helping users, and keep getting constant feedback from them. It's very like iterative journey. It's never straight. So I end this by just telling you, like, uh, think of it as if that in order to succeed, you, like, if you desire succeed, you have to be, like, you don't have to be fearful of failure. So your desire to succeed should be greater than your fear for failure. So this is what I have for you today, and I am open to take questions now.
Thank you so much, Yastika, for this wonderful session. I
I'm
just
glad.
wanted to know how long exactly iMumz took to, reach this particular
Um,
stage.
Got it. It's an interesting question. To be honest, we always feel that we still haven't reached our goal, because it's something that keeps on going. Growth will never stop. Even if you see companies like Instagram, they're still growing. Amazon, Flipkart, all of them are still growing month on month in terms of revenue, in terms of user acquisition, all the different metrics that I've told you about growth. So especially for the onboarding experiment, it took us around more than 12 weeks to reach there. Step by step, in week one, we did something. We analyzed that, okay, this is the part of the funnel that is breaking. Then we again quickly iterated, quickly launched another experiment which solves that problem. And also seeing that that problem that you are solving is not creating another problem again. So it's a iterative journey. For us, it took from like sign up to payment conversion 1.2%. It was initially 1.2%, but via onboarding only we have increased it to 6%. And obviously there is a slow scope of improvement. You can always find ways in which you can increase conversions, and by keep doing experiments, by keep learning more and more about your users. So it's very important to know who you are building for, and focus on, like, as much as you know about your users, try to know more and more about them. You can also like segment users. For example, like, there is no one average user. Like, you can't um, build for one single user. You have to segment them. Like, I'll just give you an example. So how we did segmentation and how it really helped us like create different flows for different users. For example, the JTBD thing that I've shown you, where we asked users what is their aspiration and concern. Nobody has similar aspirations. Like, different users will have different aspirations. So each flow is different. For stress, we had a different flow. For natural delivery, we had a different flow, because users need different things. There is no average user. So you segmentation here really helps. So this is one tip that I wanted to share. And it's an iterative process. Again, you have to keep improving. I hope that I answered the question.
Yes, you answered it very perfectly. Now we'll go ahead and pick up questions from the Q&A section. And anyone who's putting up questions in the chat box, please go ahead and put your questions in the Q&A so that it is easy for us to pick it up from there. So the first question is by Satya, who has asked that how you have convinced the initial users as there would be no users to showcase their journey to the prospective users.
That's a very interesting question. It's a fair question, but I'll tell you the stage where our company is right now. We have more than 6 lakh plus users. We already have a lot of users, and in our team itself, we have a lot of pregnant like mothers who have gone through the pregnancy journey. For example, our design head who is working with us, she is a mother. Our developer, she is a mother. So getting they also have that kind of empathy, and it's it comes right. You if when you for example, you order food from Swiggy every day. So if you work at Swiggy and you know your product, right, you know the users, like how you think, and then you use that as a framework, use that as a learning, use that as an insight to build something. So we already had a lot of users, and it didn't require any convincing, because we already know that these problems exist after talking to a lot of users. I
Hope
hope
that
I have.
answered, yes, hope that that answered your question, Satya.
Yes, Satya, if you have a
Next,
follow-up question, you can ask too.
if you have a follow-up question, please put that also in the chat box. Now, let's go ahead and take up another question, which is by Saurav Bhatia. So not everyone, the question is, not everyone is receptive to the suggestions like stress can hamper your baby's growth or of brain or keep environment happy. And people might just want to mute the suggestions. What was the rollback plan as a PM that you created?
That's a very interesting question, because uh, that's just as simple as providing a skip button. So you don't force users to go through a journey. You can always provide an option to skip. And because nobody, like, there are users, even I feel that a lot of times I don't want to go through such questions. I just want to get into the home screen as soon as possible. That also works. But you have to make sure that even without onboarding, your home screen, when you reach the reach to the core product, you give value there itself, you activate your users there itself, and you provide the similar experience, even if onboarding is not there. The So I'll give you an example of Amazon, right? They don't have any onboarding. They just ask, they don't even ask a single question like give your email ID or give your, you can skip it till the end, because their goal is very different. They want you to explore products, come and search for a product, come whatever you are looking for, come and search, and you add to that cart, and then you purchase. So it's definitely dependent on what exactly you want users to do, and don't be hard on onboarding if you realize that this is not something that your users would want to know. For example, in our case, we had that data that uh, around 50 to 60% users are actually going through this journey because they have some aspiration and concern. It's not like and definitely people will never have time. For example, I also don't have time. If I'm going through an onboarding flow, I will just skip it. So a lot of people, a lot of users, our users also skipped it, but we made sure that the home screen is doing justice to that skip. I hope that answers.
Hope that answered sort of your question because the answer given by Yastika made a lot of sense. Thank you, Yastika. Now moving on to next question, which is by Ramesh. So at Cradle or Rainbow Chains, you have a station where you engage new moms. How old is this venture? He means to ask how old is iMumz and
Yeah. So iMumz is yeah, I'll answer this. iMumz is 3 years old. It's been 3 years since we started. So it's founded by two IITians, one senior, very senior gynecologist, and um, one meditation expert, a coach, a senior coach. So the team itself has like done a lot of work around understanding, like going to the hospitals. They have really done their job and find that minimum viable product, and then they build on top of it. So it's, yeah, the app is 3 years old and the product is 3 years old now.
All right. Bhagat has a question that is iMumz used only during pregnancy time, or can it be used by women for entire lifetime?
We would want to go there and we definitely want to go there, we because we believe that the a mother's, like a baby's journey start from the womb. You started from your mother's womb, and it's a long way, right? Parenting is also equally important, so we cover not just pregnancy, we also cover parenting for 2 years. We give them that support till 2 years, and would want to go ahead once we are currently focusing on pregnancy and parenting till the baby is 2 years old. And I know it's a very great question, because uh, as a woman you would need support, because each pregnancy is unique, each journey is different. So they need, because today we have a lifestyle which is quite overwhelming. We work also, we cook, we do our own things, and a lot of responsibilities are there. So yeah, definitely would want to do that.
Jaideep's question is what are the challenges faced during the iteration process to attain 6% retention at any time? Did the team go back and tweak any of the growth steps to land to a desirable outcome?
Absolutely, absolutely. There are a lot of challenges, but the most important thing is to the identify those challenges, and understand how you can solve those challenges, how you can overcome those challenges. Let me think of an example. What challenge we faced? So initially, like, we realized that the challenge that we faced was, in that JTBD flow that I showed you, where we asked a user what they are looking for, uh, we realized that most of the users had multiple concerns. It's not just one concern. It's, say, relief from stress. They also want a natural delivery. They also are looking for. So it's the challenges that you face. You have to, like, overcome those with first understanding what your challenge is, and take help from a lot of people, take help from your designer, do a lot of brainstorming sessions with your team, and figure out that, see, this is a challenge that we are facing. And since the most biggest challenge was that we faced was, since we are a very small team, we are a pod like structure, where a designer sits with an engineer and a product person. We three sit together, and we want to do multiple things as fast as possible, but we don't have enough time. At one time we only can do one experiment or two experiments. So it's important for us to do that very as fast as possible. So some challenges were there, of course, and one of it was definitely, like, how much time do we want to spend on one experiment? Is it taking too long, the launch process? Because sometimes what happens is, initially you have a great idea, but during the process of like getting from an idea, like, from from planning to execution, there is a lot of gap that comes. Then you also think of different edge cases, ki, oh shit, I didn't solve for this. I like, what should I do right now? So it's very iterative. You have to also, because it's a startup, right? You have to keep iterating. You have to keep um, like, quickly solve things on ground when you, like, execute things. So it's never that much planned, but we plan it as much as we can. But when you execute, you think of a lot of edge cases at that point too. Yes.
All right. So the next question is by Zan, who has asked, when did you decide to onboard customers? Was it during or after the minimum viable product was built? Also, if you can share the story of some challenges that you or your team faced and how you overcome that.
Yes. The second one, I think I've already covered. The first one is very important. So we already, like when I joined, we already had an onboarding flow, onboarding process, but we realized that that onboarding was like people used to skip the onboarding because it was not very attractive. It was a video which was not interactive, which was very one-sided, and people don't want to like look for one-sided things. They would want to have that feedback loop, and like we kind of made it more interactive. So like when we were given that goal to increase the conversions, then we realized that the first thing that we will do is do a proper onboarding, because that's when you can show the real value of your product. That's a very very big opportunity for any company to any product to showcase who they are, and that will ensure if the product, like if the users will be sticking to it afterwards. So yes, that's when we decided that we have a goal and we know that there is an opportunity, so we would want to use that opportunity to create more impact and to make users go through a process where we tell them that, see, this is what we are, what we offer, this is what who we are, and this is how we are going to help you. Yes.
Right. Jayant has a question that are the T in your growth, which stood for test and iterate. You mentioned this phase of the framework right after W, which is your wireframe and protocol phase. Iterations under T phases are related to prototype or on the actual product after it has gone live to mass.
I didn't quite like understand the question. If Jayant can speak up and ask, that would be helpful.
Um, I feel what it means is the iterations that you have mentioned, that T stands for test and iterate, right?
Yeah.
So he wants to ask if iterations under T
Mhm.
phase are related to protocol prototype, because you have mentioned that W stands for wireframe and
Mhm.
prototype. So
Uh,
the iterations that are under T phase are related to prototype iterations or on the actual product.
Got it. Got it. What I meant was actual product, but when you are wireframing, you never do one, like your designer, the designer that you're working with who will not just give you one solution. They will give you multiple solutions, and then you compare those solutions, and then you like think of edge cases ki ye solution may it is not working out, like this thing is not working out, in the second solution this is not working, and then you finalize, sit together with your team and finalize that this is the best that we can do for say one solution. This is the best solution out of the four. But what I meant was of course the iteration in terms of experimentation, the number of times you repeat the experiments. Yes, I hope that answers.
Next is by Gaurav, who has a question as you are from a non-tech background. Did you face any challenges coordinating with project design team or tech team? Which all tools you will suggest as a product manager to have hands-on?
Got it, got it, got it. It's a very interesting question. So, yes,
And
of course,
we can skip the second part of this question because this is not with respect to today's session.
Mhm.
You kindly go ahead and answer the first one, which is, did you face any challenges
Got it.
in your whole project, like in the whole journey?
Yes. So, my journey was from an intern to a product manager. I joined as a product intern. I grew up in the same company. So, the first challenge that I faced was me like not able to understand like it was not about understanding, it was just about my confidence that, see, I am from a very different background. I was like, I only know how to design things, but it the challenges that you face like they go away when you have a good mentor. Like, talk to your manager, talk to uh, people around you, like get help, because you are new to a company and you don't know a lot of things. So don't hesitate to talk to your colleagues, and especially your manager, because that person will really help you grow. So definitely, I whenever I face, there were a lot of challenges because I can't like pick up any one of it, but I know that whatever, because your challenges will be very different from my challenge. So whatever challenge you are facing, you have to make sure that you talk to people in your organization, you read some stuff, and you like try to improve yourself, like uh, be in that zone where you like discuss things with your mentor, discuss it with your team members, and read a lot of documents that your company has written, that things that they have done earlier. So yeah, I couldn't answer this very well, but because I feel that challenges are very different, and there is no one challenge, there are multiple challenges.
Totally agree. I feel everyone's journey is different.
Yes.
And when it comes to product management, the same applies as well here because everyone comes with a different background, with a different, history or the past, different courses done or different programs done. So yes, the journey completely varies for everyone, but your journey has been very, very splendid and you are doing an amazing job. So kudos to you.
Thank you so
Uh,
much. And I know that all of you are also doing a great job. Just one tip that I would want to give is uh, like know your strengths and be confident and be open to learn new skills. Be open, because for me, if I would have restricted myself to just design and just doing one thing repetitively, I wouldn't have grown from like I was open to feedback, I was open to learning new skills, and that's the only thing that matters. Your like the more you want to learn, the more you grow. So be in that phase where you are open to learn, open to get feedback, open to work on those feedback that you receive.
Basically open to evolve and grow.
Right, right.
All right. So the next question is by Lata, who has asked is, what is a role when it comes to product monetization and bringing up profits? Is that a PM scope of task?
Yes. uh, because see, whatever you are here, like the company hired you to create impact, to l- to be a part of that. Like it depends on from scale to scale. For example, we are a startup, we have defined goals, we the whole organization works towards one goal, and monetization is definitely one of the major goals, because every otherwise you will not survive. So be it Instagram, be it big companies like Facebook, they are still monetizing, they are chasing things. So definitely it's product plays a major role in monetization, because people pay for your product. So they are here because they find value from your product. So you, as a product manager, you have to increase the amount of value that you give to your users, at the same time also improve that, improve business, right? You bring more profit to the company. So it's definitely good goal setting. So at iMumz we had good goal setting, we know that what we are going to chase. And also, no, as a product manager, the most important thing for you is to think from user side also, like do good user research, uh, design for them, because they are the people you are working for. And also you sit in between of like business as well as users, so both of them are important.
Wonderful. Before we jump into the next question, I would like to mention that I have floated the feedback form in the chat box. Kindly go ahead and fill in your feedback and let us know how did you find this speaker session. Okay, so the next question that we are taking up, this would be our second last question because of the time constraint. This question is by Darshan, who has asked, also from knowledge point of view, women in tier 2 and tier 3 cities actually don't have access to this knowledge, and what needs to be done and rely on information and from mother-in-law or mother. How is the reach to women in tier 2 and tier 3?
Yes. So I'll tell you a fact. Like, if say 100 users are coming to our platform, 80% of those users are from tier 2 and tier 3 cities. Only 20% users are from tier 1 cities. And like this knowledge, like whatever we are telling them, the facts that really, like, our whole concept is that you have to have a good lifestyle in pregnancy, because that has a very long term impact on your baby. So this knowledge can, this is all about how you use opportunities to create awareness. So we also have some sessions, there is a very interesting session that our CEO takes on decoding womb engineering, where we just educate them about how it is important for you to have a natural delivery, how it's important for you to have a good diet, how it's important for you to have like reduced stress, less stress, stay more positive in your pregnancy, talk to your baby, emotional communication. It's like a wonderful session made only on awareness, because this is, if your users are not aware about these things, then there is no point, they will never use it, because they don't know the importance of it. So you have to create importance, you have to create awareness among your users. So definitely creating awareness is the biggest thing that we do when it comes to tier 2 and tier 3 cities, because in tier 1 cities also we have realized that in tier this education thing is usually people know very basics of it. They don't know in depth how it is impacting, how my diet is impacting my baby. They just know that, okay, my mother-in-law said that I have to eat good food, but they don't know what exactly they have to eat. So education, I think, is overall, like, it's not just tier by tier, it's definitely more in tier 2 and tier 3 cities. But even a lot of doctors also feel that whatever information we give are, they don't know, because they are the ones who are going through this journey now. And because each pregnancy is different, and uh, like they have a different lifestyle, so whatever suits them may not suit others. So it's important to have that awareness. Yes, I think it's the
Wonderful. So the last question that we are going to pick up for this particular session is by Bhavna, who has asked, can you please share some of the matrices that you were particularly monitoring to track how onboarding made a difference?
got it. So very interesting question. So let's say for me it was the core metric that we were chasing was definitely conversions. So what I mean by conversion is, say 100 people have signed up on your platform, how many of those users are paying for your premium subscription, paying for the actual product that you are building. So basically it's called the conversion. Conversion was the first metric that we were chasing. Also we were it's not just about conversion, it's about people coming back and again um, to like get the value that you're providing. So retention is definitely the second metric that we were chasing. And it's not about the end metric that you chase, it's about the step by step funnel. So for example, sign up is the first thing that if I'm tracking. The next step is how many people are seeing that screen where we ask them what aspiration and concern you have. Now how many people are then dropping off, and how many people are converting to that funnel, and then how many people are clicking on the video, how many people are watching it, then how, it's like step by step. So it's not just one metric, it's an end to end flow. So you monitor everything, you monitor drop offs, you monitor how many people converted, and you monitor different flows. So it's all about, like, it's your job to do, you to take care of the entire funnel, to take care of the entire journey. Because that's when you will, in between you will realize that, okay, this is the point where the drop off is maximum. Why is it happening? You ask that question, why is it happening, and how can I reduce it? Talk to users again, do some data digging and understand why that is happening, and then form hypothesis again on top of it and try to solve for it. Yes.
Thank you for all the wonderful answers, and I'm sure everyone whose questions were picked up definitely got the answer. Thank you, Yastika, again for
Yes.
the really, really insightful and amazing and very interesting session. I'm sure everybody loved the session. If you did, please put it in the chat box so that we can see the feedback here itself, at least. And thank you so much once again for
Uh, Thanks for
creating.
having me here, Tamsha, and I am so glad that I shared all of my learnings here. Definitely major ones, and I would love to connect with anyone who wants to connect with me on LinkedIn, because I know a lot of questions weren't answered, and if they want to personally get in touch with me, they can.
Yes,
And
yeah, if
I
you could just
always
put your LinkedIn URL here, people would
I have put
definitely love
it.
to
I'll
know.
just, maybe you can pin it there, pin it in the end. Yes. So thank you so much. Thank you for joining, and I hope you have a great weekend. Like, not a weekend, but a Sunday ahead. And I hope you all do great things, and like just do it. Just go ahead, and whatever you are doing, just do, take the best out of yourself and show the world that, like, you, who you really are, and just keep growing. And
And
thank you so
as you
much for.
rightly said, your desire for success should be more than your fear towards failure. So, yes, definitely. Please stick to that. Keep doing great in all any program that you have picked up. Stick to that. Keep learning and keep evolving. That we also discussed in between. That you should focus on evolving and growth. So please keep doing that. All the very best, everyone. Thank you for joining in for today's session. It was wonderful having you all. Thank you, Yastika, once again
Thank
for
you. Thank you so
joining
much.
us in and sharing such insightful experience of yours. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks. Bye bye. Bye, everyone.